Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. Starting a little bit late this morning, but we're still starting pretty early. So it is Saturday, May 18th, 2024. It's 5:33 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. So let's check out what's going on with Bitcoin and stuff. All right, so bitcoindailyview.com. As always, got more for you there. Volume for Bitcoin trading is beginning to go down. I wasn't sure if that was going to happen this weekend, and it definitely could change. But right now it's 4.7 billion. Not bad volume, but that is down 10% last 24 hours. Looking at longs and shorts, not seeing many longs and shorts getting wrecked. Saw some big buys, saw some big sells. In general, we're pretty darn sideways. Looking at longs versus shorts bias on Binance, where the big money is, 48% long, 51% short. People are definitely kind of thinking time to short Bitcoin. Ethereum, though, still very positive, 68% long, 31% short, but people are always all positive about Ethereum. Anyway, looking at the spot trading volume last 24 hours on the big 20 exchanges, surprisingly, most are still positive in the green. Looking at Bitcoin, the top 100, 67,068, so $67,068 per Bitcoin. Not bad. Definitely picked up a bit towards the end of the week. 51% market share, 51.6 actually. So definitely, if Bitcoin pumps or dumps, it will affect the alt market. And of course, it all depends on just that alt's personality. So it may dump your alt, it may pump your alt. It can be hard to tell, but what is for certain, a move right now that's strong for Bitcoin is definitely going to affect the alt market. Looking at the top 100, we got some green. Athena, whatever that is doing quite well. ENA. You've got Phantom. Oh, that's kind of a cool project. Doing pretty good. XMR, Monero, yeah, for a change in the green, 1.1. Ethereum Classic up 2.3%. Ethereum up 3.2%. Just in general, we got some nice alts. Things are happening. Litecoin up 1.2%. Optimism is optimistic, up 1.6%. Renzo restacked ETH, whatever that shitcoin is up 3.4%. ARWE, which has been really doing well, has turned around, retracing. Anyway, we're seeing some nice green. Nothing super pumping, but definitely we're seeing some nice green in the alt market overall. We're seeing some nice stuff. Phantom up 9%. That's for sure. That's a nice looking alt. Phantom FTM. Now, looking at the Bitcoin chart, I'm looking at it daily because I gotta zoom out to see what's going on, really. What I can tell you is, it's all about how you're looking at it. On the daily, the MACD has crossed positive a day or so ago, and we are moving up. Now, the histogram's, moving in the right direction. It's widening. If we were to look at, when you get these positive MACD crosses on the daily, especially when they're under the heartbeat, like here, and of course where it just crossed. If we look, come back here. If we look, that tends to be, real movement time. So you can see back here, correlating with the MACD, you had a positive cross when it was under the heartbeat, and we just did again. And so it's all about, it's a hard chart to read, in my opinion, but we had done something like when we move out, we definitely have done a daily MACD cross towards the positive. It is widening. It's looking good. It's not one of those kind of like light touches, like where the tangent goes positive, kind of touches, kind of crosses and gives it back. No, this is definitely a pretty positive looking daily MACD cross. And a lot of algorithmic trading just fires off right there. Now, which way is the day going to go, positive or negative? I'll go to the 2 hour because I do think the 2 hour MACD does kind of predict the trend, like which way the daily is going. Can't tell you why, I have no idea, but it just seems to be the case. So looking at the daily MACD, let me make this monitor brighter. There you go. 2 hour MACD. Sorry, there we go. Boom. 2 hour MACD in general is not too positive. It's negative. So I would say, Bitcoin's, especially with the volume decreasing, wouldn't surprise me if we see a sideways weekend, or even kind of a retrace weekend where we bounce off, previous support resistance and then continue moving. So, it's not really a day that I would bet much money on a long, but I wouldn't exactly short either. I think if I really wanted to trade today, I would be watching the alts because sideways Bitcoin like this does tend to, the longer it stays sideways, the longer it stays, especially above the 200 moving average with the 45-minute chart and the hourly. See, this is good. See, back 14th, we cross a positive on the daily 200 moving average. Sorry, on the 45-minute moving average, we crossed positive on the 45-minute chart. 200 moving average, we crossed positive back on the 14th. And that really gives alts a chance to move, especially if Bitcoin just stays positive. And if we look in general, Bitcoin does since then have, and in general, I would call it a bit of an upwards channel that it's in. I mean, it's pretty choppy to really call it, to say this is definitely an upwards channel, but it ultimately, it pretty much is. And if nothing else, I mean, it's a sideways channel, which definitely the whales love to manipulate. This is really good for them to buy and sell. It's not quite hectic enough for them to really make money, but still, this sideways motion gives alts the ability to run, to do things. So Bitcoin sideways, decreasing volume. People are betting on it being short on Binance. I would say that it wouldn't surprise me if we got, actually, let's look at a 4-hour chart too. 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours is above the 200, above the 314. It finds support on the 314. So what wouldn't surprise me is, people, I'm going to stick with the 45-minute chart, or maybe even let's go to the hourly. Many more people are using that. Doesn't look much different right now. It would not surprise me if Bitcoin did something like, because low volume is when whales can really play. They get that conference call going, and they, I'll sell, you buy, I'll dump you, whatever, and they make their money. So here's the thing: wouldn't surprise me if Bitcoin did something like this. Boom, went down to like the hourly 200 moving average. So to me, if I wanted to have like a limit order in, like just for fun kind of limit order, and I had enough confidence that Bitcoin was going to continue sideways or be moving up, if I thought overall it was on an upwards trajectory, or if I want to just make some gains and then, maybe have a trailing take profit that sells it when it turns around enough. And you can do that over on 3 commas. So there's a link in the description. Or just go to bitcoindailyview.com and scroll down, go to 3 commas. I have an affiliate link that, I would say something like, if I was going to hop in, like put a limit order right here on the 200 moving average. Let's say I want to play it safe. So I'm going to say 33,700. Okay. Be above it enough. And then I'm going to look at this thing and say, well, where do I think it might go? Let's get a little forecast. So if I was to bounce there and I was to come back to the top of that channel, or even halfway, that'd be like halfway to this, if I call this kind of a sideways channel here. Halfway, the heartbeat of it is 3.67%. So if I was to go to like right here at about, this is, let's see, right about 63,700. Try to get it right in there. Sorry, these are my bigger monitor on a laptop. So around 63,700. If I had a limit order in and I had a sell right around 3%, so I could easily do something like, I would say, about, you get the limit order in, and it's a trailing take profit starting at like 3% with a variance of 1%. Maybe you can get 2% out of your trade. That's kind of tight. I mean, it's not a whole lot of profit depending on how much you're playing with, but with the trailing take profit, if this thing begins to really move, it'll give you if it breaks out of this channel and really starts to move, maybe you can make 10%, 5%, 6%, all depends, and then I'll turn around and sell it. So anyways, that's just a possible play, but anyways, so Bitcoin, not terribly exciting, but it's sideways, and that allows alts the ability to move. What was that one that was doing quite well? Phantom, FTM. So enough about Bitcoin. FTM, USD. Where can I play that? Okay, I can play it on Binance and KuCoin. I mean, many other places too. Okay, look at the hourly chart. Yeah, it looks a lot like Bitcoin, but it's pushing. So this is a move I could see Bitcoin doing today which to me is kind of interesting, where you see like your range that's been played here, a sideways channel is what I call it, and it just broke out, and the indicator is looking good. Hourly MACD is looking wonderful. Let's go down and drill down to a 45-minute chart with all the fancy indicators. Honestly, it looks like this one's just getting ready. It's just getting started. The squeeze indicator is looking good. Traditional index is looking good. ADX is looking good. Got a little volume coming in there. 45-minute chart looks good. How about a 4-hour? What's that doing? 4-hour chart. Yeah, it's above the 200. It broke above the 200. Got above the 314, finding support there. Came back and kind of tested that 314. These candles are pushing really hard. They're stacked, so they're purple. This is just wonderful. Indicators are looking really, really good. I mean, this is a nice chart. It would have been hard to really predict a little bit, in my opinion, just because, like a great buy is right here, and it made that break above the 200, but really this would have given me a lack of confidence because it's just flirting with it. Then I don't like to really trade within the 200 and the 314, but now that it's broken above the 314, went and then bounced, found support. This is honestly a very interesting chart. I'm not going to hop in it this morning. I kind of have a feeling that maybe what I would do is do a fib sequence on it, just this recent run, and just watch it for. It wouldn't surprise me if it came down to a 382 or a .5 or even like a 618 bounce. I think this is just a lot of push right now. Let's see. I think I just myself. I mean, if it not a bad trade, but I wait for a retrace here. AR versus USDT. I'm looking at this over on Binance. I like it. It's been in this upwards channel. It's really playing it really well. I'm kind of waiting for that retrace and then to hop in at the bottom of that channel right around 43.641, and then hop in and just ride this thing. I think AR versus USDT is a good setup here, and you can play it on Binance and KuCoin, MEXC, Bybit, Gate.io. Let's go and look at some of this cool stuff. This is the Cayenne list. This is trading pairs that we've selected over at Bitcoin Education. Blockchain Education. Great trading group. Come join the team. Link in the description over at Bitcoin Daily View. Just looking at some alts they're just alts against USD on Coinbase, because everybody can play that. They're making gains this morning. 4-hour chart, MNDE is just right now pushing. Broke the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Indicators are looking good. Definitely MDE versus USD. That's one to watch. BCH hard push this morning. Broke the 200, but it's 200 and 314. A little shaky, but it's definitely pushing. LCX, USD. We're seeing a lot of this. We're seeing these. It's breaking above the 200, but the 314 was above the 200, and now it's stuck in the middle there. Is it going to continue? Interesting. I would say, looking at this chart on the 4-hour and on the 45-minute, I'm going to give this one a chance to kind of. Now I think it's going to kind of do this this sideways thing, is what I'm kind of expecting, where it's going to kind of go just sideways. So we'll see how this one plays out. But definitely one to watch. Solana. This is it. Solana's looking great. We'll look at that one and then just call it quits. But looking at Solana, this is a nice setup. Right now you can see it's beginning. Sorry about that. Right now, looking at the squeeze indicator, you can see where it's beginning to the squeeze indicator here in the 45-minute chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart too. Yeah, you can see it's just about ready to turn over on the 4-hour chart. So this one's going to give a little bit back, but look at that hard push that it's doing. So looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see that these are always hard to play because the thing is, I don't like this riding a downwards 200 moving average on the 4-hour, and I'm not too powerful. But it made a break. It's pushing really hard. You've got the purple candles there and the purple candles here, which means 3 stacked bodies. And it's looking good. It's pushing. It's about the 200, 314. This is a really nice setup from the way I'm seeing it. Let's look at a daily chart for Solana. How's that looking? Daily chart. above the 200. You can see this nice, and overall it's been in an uptrend. I mean, kind of hard to make a neat looking, upwards channel to really, to show that action, but you can just kind of say like this, and I'm just going to keep it tight like that. Upwards channel. It wouldn't surprise me if it moves to the top of this channel again before it turns around. Daily MACD, it crossed down here in the sweet spot, and its histogram's going in the right direction. This thing is looking, quite nice. So Solana, which is a legit project, even though it's had some issues, it's looking really nice. Let's look at a 4-hour chart here. 4-hour chart, looking good. 4-hour MACD. Really strong, maybe getting ready to roll over. So anyway, I'm not quite ready to get into this one until it retraces a bit. So we have some definitely extended, runs as we go into the weekend, but volume is slowing down. So I'll be watching too as far as, trading. I'm not doing anything this morning. I'm going to watch for retraces and see what we can catch on Sunday, and we'll see how we set up for the week. But in general, Solana, if I was just if this is nice, this is really nice, and I hope that I think we'll start to see the longer Bitcoin stays sideways and stable above important moving averages. We'll see alts begin to start running like this. And the thing is, we're always looking at the methodology, and the thing is, if we look, see, that would have been the time on the 45-minute chart, that nice powerful 203.14 break to actually hop in, and then you would have just be riding these nice gains here. And if you're really trading it tightly, you probably would have sold when the squeeze indicator rolled over. I think I'm going to wait till I see more of a positive squeeze rollover, because if you look, really, if you go to like a 4-hour chart on a coin like this, Solana, and you just were to, maybe not every time, use your discernment, but if you're just buying nice, powerful looking squeeze crosses, towards the positive, now we look at the whole chart, you can start to see where quite often, you would win that game. This one, not so much, but here for sure you would have. So sorry about that. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to wait for this guy to retrace, and I think it's pretty powerful right now. So after it retraces, I'll wait for that squeeze indicator on like the 4-hour for Solana to, make that nice movement, come down, and then when it begins to trend up, I'll hop in right there if Solana's still looking good. A lot of safe ways to play. There really are. So anyway, thanks everybody. I will talk to you again soon tomorrow.